Welcome back to JF Coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking stories in the coin collecting world. We're talking about the mysterious, elusive, and incredibly valuable 1983 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that, on the surface, looks just like any other you'd find in your change, but if you're lucky enough to find the right one, it could be worth up to $597,720. Yes, you heard that right. Over $500,000 for a single penny. This is not just a story about copper and zinc. This is a story of rare errors, of minting secrets, of a market that exploded, and a coin that shocked experts around the world. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's go on a journey through time all the way back to 1983. By 1982, the United States Mint had made a major change to the Lincoln cent due to rising copper prices. The mint switched from the traditional 95% copper composition to a much cheaper zinc core with a thin copper coating. That change was intended to save millions, but it also created the perfect storm for some of the most legendary minting errors in American history. And in 1983, just 1 year after the switch, something went wrong. A small handful of coins slipped through the cracks. And that's where the legend of the 1983 D. Lincoln cent begins. Now, let's get one thing straight. Most 1983 D pennies are common. They were minted in the millions. You can find them in jars, drawers, even stuck in your car's cup holder. But here's the twist: among those common pennies, there exists a rare and ultra-valuable version, a coin that wasn't supposed to exist. You see, in 1983, no Lincoln pennies were supposed to be made with a copper planchet. But somehow a few slipped through. What makes the 1983 D version even more mysterious is that until recently, nobody even knew one existed. For decades, collectors hunted 1983 Philadelphia pennies for errors. But it wasn't until 2013, yes, 3 full decades later, that a verified copper 1983 D. Lincoln cent surfaced and was authenticated. And the value? Insane. One such penny sold at auction for a whopping $597,720. That's not a typo. That's the power of rarity. Alright, now that your adrenaline's pumping, let's talk about how you can spot one of these ultra-rare pennies hiding in plain sight. Here's what to look for. First, grab a 1983 D penny. Flip it over and inspect both sides. Now, the copper version looks almost identical to the zinc one, so you can't trust your eyes alone. You need to do a weight test. Zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. But the rare copper planchet pennies weigh about 3.1 grams. That tiny difference is the key to a $500,000 payday. If you've got a small digital scale, weigh it. If it's 3.1 grams or more, you might be holding a unicorn. And if you do, stop, don't clean it, don't try to alter it, immediately get it certified by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. The 1983 D copper cent isn't the only penny from that era that's valuable. There's also the famous 1983 double die reverse from the Philadelphia Mint, another error worth hundreds or even thousands. That's why checking every 1983 penny you come across is absolutely essential. And if you think this is just a one-off thing, think again. Coin collecting is a booming world right now. Collectors, investors, and auction houses are on the hunt for rare specimens. And prices are rising fast. Let's talk market value. Why is a 1983 D penny suddenly worth nearly $600,000? Only one officially verified 1983 D copper penny is known to exist in mint state condition. The coin market runs on rarity, and when a coin is one of one, you better believe the bidding war goes nuclear. With inflation, economic uncertainty, and rising interest in alternative investments, rare coins like this are becoming the new gold for collectors and investors alike. And pennies, yes, literal 1-cent coins, are leading the charge. So what does this all mean for you? It means there's a chance, even if it's tiny, that you could find a coin worth more than most people's homes. All it takes is one good eye, one scale, and a little patience. Check your change. Go through those old jars. Ask your parents or grandparents if they have an old coin stash. And pay special attention to every 1983 D penny you come across. Because someone out there is going to find the next one. The question is, will it be you? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins in US history, smash that like button and share this video with your friends and fellow treasure hunters. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to check your change after watching this. And don't forget to subscribe, because there are more secrets, more hidden gems, and more life-changing coins waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep hunting, keep dreaming, and remember, sometimes the biggest treasure comes in the smallest coin. Would you like me to help you make a thumbnail idea or video title suggestions too? Today, we're uncovering the mind-blowing truth behind one of the most fascinating and shocking coins in American history, the 1984 Lincoln cent, a coin that has turned heads in the collector's world and could very well be sitting in your pocket change. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1984 Lincoln penny has been valued at an astonishing $597,719. That's more than $500,000 for a 1-cent piece. What makes this coin so incredibly rare? Why is it worth so much? And how can you tell if you have one? Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the story, the mystery, the history, and the jaw-dropping value of the 1984 ultra-rare Lincoln penny. To truly understand why this coin is so special, let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent, or Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than Lady Liberty. Since then, it's gone through a few changes, but in 1984, something unexpected happened. The United States Mint was still producing pennies with the famous Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, introduced in 1959. But in 1984, a certain number of these pennies came out of the Philadelphia Mint with a bizarre and highly valuable error, an error that would send shockwaves through the coin-collecting community decades later. So, what's the big deal? Why is this specific penny worth nearly $600,000? The answer lies in a very rare and highly collectible minting mistake known as double die. In coin terms, a double die refers to a coin that was struck by a die that was misaligned during the manufacturing process, causing parts of the image on the coin to appear duplicated. This doubling is not from wear or damage. It's a true factory error, and that's what makes it insanely valuable. In the case of the 1984 Lincoln cent, the doubling is most noticeable on Abraham Lincoln's ear. It looks as though he has a second earlobe, a strange but clear sign of the double die error. Collectors often refer to this one as the double ear penny. But here's where things get wild. Most double die coins might be worth a few hundred or even a few $1,000s. But the rarest, cleanest, most perfectly preserved specimens of this 1984 penny, those with absolutely flawless doubling and top-tier grading, have commanded auction prices close to $600,000. Now, let's talk about condition. Because not every 1984 penny is a goldmine, the value of a rare coin depends heavily on its grade, which is a professional assessment of how well preserved the coin is. Grading ranges from poor that $597,719 value. That's for a 1984 Lincoln cent that's been graded MS 68 or higher with pristine detail, stunning luster, and no signs of circulation wear. In fact, the finest known example of this coin set auction records due to its combination of the rare double die feature and its flawless condition. Coins in average circulated condition might fetch a few hundred to a couple $1,000s. Still a fantastic find for something you could discover in your loose change or an old piggy bank. So, how can you check if you've struck copper gold? Check Lincoln's ear, get a magnifying glass, and look closely at Lincoln's right ear. If you see a clear second earlobe or a faint shadow below the primary ear, you might have the double die version. Date and mint mark. The valuable 1984 penny was minted in Philadelphia, so it does not have a mint mark. That's normal. Coin condition. Even if you spot the doubling, the value jumps drastically based on how crisp and clean your coin is. Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning it can destroy its value. Get it graded. If you think you have one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade it, giving you a certificate of value. Now let's talk dollars. The coin market can fluctuate like any other. But rare coins like this tend to gain value over time, especially as collectors compete for the few pristine examples that exist. One stunning example sold for $180,000 in a major auction in the early 2000s. A near-perfect piece graded MS 68 broke records by fetching $597,719 at a recent auction, turning the heads of numismatists around the globe. Even lightly circulated examples have been listed on collector sites for $1,000 to $10,000, depending on the visibility of the doubling. That's not just a coin, that's a small fortune. So here's the big question. Could you have one of these ultra-rare 1984 pennies? Absolutely. In fact, hundreds of these coins are believed to be in circulation or tucked away in old coin jars, drawers, or collections passed down through families. The odds are slim but not impossible, and that's the magic of coin collecting. Every penny has a story. Every coin is a potential treasure. So go ahead, check your pockets, your couch cushions, your old collections. The next time you come across a 1984 penny, take a second look. You could be holding a coin worth more than a Ferrari. This coin is more than just a fluke. It's a reminder that value can hide in plain sight. The 1984 Lincoln Cent Ultra Rare Double Die is a symbol of how small details can make a massive difference in coins and in life. It represents history, mystery, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's stories like this that keep the passion for coins alive. So the next time someone scoffs at a penny, just smile. You'll know better. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny? Or do you think you might have this one? Share this video with your friends, especially the ones who never check their change. Who knows? You might help someone discover a fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin tells a story. Yours could be worth 6 figures. Want me to turn this into a voiceover script or add visuals and on-screen text prompts? I can help with that too. Could be worth a jaw-dropping $597,718? That's right, one penny. One small, forgotten Lincoln cent from 1986 has made headlines, shocked collectors, and sparked debates in the coin world. Welcome to the amazing story of the 1986 Ultra Lincoln Cent, one of the rarest, most valuable modern coins to ever hit the U.S. collector market. Grab your magnifying glass and settle in, because today we're going deep into the mystery, the magic, and the millions, well, hundreds of thousands, that could be hiding in your pocket change. Let's start with a quick journey back in time. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the very first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has become a staple of American pockets for over a century. But while most Lincoln cents are minted by the billions, not all pennies are created equal. Hidden among the sea of copper and zinc are ultra-rare errors, misstrikes, and special variants that can be worth small fortunes. Now fast forward to 1986, a year filled with economic shifts, technology booms, and yes, a seemingly ordinary penny that would later send shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. Most 1986 Lincoln cents were struck in zinc with a thin copper plating, following the metal composition change in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Millions were minted, circulated, and tossed into jars. But 1 cent, and possibly only one, would become the stuff of legend, the 1986 Ultra Lincoln Cent. So what exactly is an Ultra Lincoln Cent? Great question. The term ultra refers to extremely high-quality strike characteristics, sometimes used to describe deeply struck proof coins or coins with exceptionally sharp details. But here's the twist, this particular 1986 Lincoln Cent wasn't supposed to be a proof coin at all. Yet the known example of the Ultra 1986 Lincoln Cent displays mirror-like fields, frosted devices, and razor-sharp details, traits typically reserved for proof coins made for collectors, not circulation. In other words, someone, somewhere at the U.S. Mint may have struck this coin under proof-like conditions, either as an experiment, a mistake, or a rogue masterpiece. Now let's talk about the jaw-dropping part. This coin didn't just show up overnight. It was discovered by a keen-eyed collector who instantly realized there was something unusual about the cent. After thorough examination by third-party grading services and numismatic experts, it was confirmed to be a one-of-a-kind specimen. And when it finally hit the auction block, the bidding was fierce, fast, and furious. The final hammer price, $597,718. That's nearly $600,000 for 1 penny. That's the power of rarity, condition, and mystery. This 1986 Ultra Lincoln Cent is now one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. Now, I know what you're thinking, could I have one of these in my pocket or old coin jar? Maybe. Maybe not. But here's what to look for just in case. First, examine all 1986 Lincoln cents under a strong light or magnification. You're looking for coins with unusually shiny, mirror-like fields and frosted images, especially Lincoln's profile and the lettering. These contrast effects, known as cameo or deep cameo finishes, are rare outside of proof coins. Check the coin strike. If the lines are extremely sharp, the lettering is crisp, and Lincoln's beard looks like it was carved by a laser, you might have something special. Also weigh it. A typical 1986 cent should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, that could also indicate an off-metal strike or mint error. If you find something unusual, don't clean it. Immediately have it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. The 1986 Ultra is incredibly rare, but it's not alone in the world of high-value Lincoln cents. Here are a few others to watch for. Your change could literally be a treasure chest if you know what you're looking for. Now let's talk market. Rare coin values, especially for modern rarities like the 1986 Ultra Lincoln cent, are on the rise. With more people entering the coin hobby and with the rise of online auctions, demand has never been higher. Investors are turning to rare coins as tangible assets, and collectors are constantly chasing unicorns like this one. The 1986 Ultra Lincoln cent isn't just a coin, it's a slice of minting mystery, a piece of art, and an investment all rolled into one. And today, experts estimate that if another Ultra 1986 cent were discovered and went up for auction, it could potentially break the $600,000 mark or more. So the next time you're digging for spare change in your car or rolling pennies for Coinstar, take a second and look, really look. You might just be holding a piece of history that's worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your college tuition. The 1986 Ultra Lincoln cent is more than just a coin. It's a mystery, a masterpiece, and a millionaire's dream in copper-plated zinc. Smash that like button if you learned something new today. Subscribe for more rare coin deep dives and let me know in the comments what's the rarest coin you've ever found. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next episode. Who knows what hidden treasures we'll uncover next time. Cue epic music as the coin fades to black, spinning slowly with golden glimmers. Top 10 most valuable pennies, rare coin errors to look for. Subscribe button. Let me know if you want a shorter version for TikTok, a voiceover script, or custom graphics ideas to go with this. Welcome back to JF Coins, your go-to channel for everything about coins, their values, and fascinating stories from the past. Today, we're going to dive into one particular penny that's often overlooked but has a pretty impressive history and a surprising value in today's market. Yes, I'm talking about the 2007 Lincoln penny. Now, don't let the fact that it's a modern coin fool you. The 2007 Lincoln penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. It's not just a simple penny, it's a piece of history, and it might just be worth a lot more than you think. Today, we'll explore the origins of the 2007 Lincoln penny, its unique characteristics, and how much it could be worth right now. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Before we talk specifically about the 2007 coin, let's take a step back and appreciate the rich history behind the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first issued by the U.S. Mint in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This coin marked the first time that a U.S. president's likeness appeared on a coin, which was a huge deal back in the day. Fast forward to 2007, and the Lincoln penny was still one of the most widely circulated coins in America. But what makes the 2007 variant so special? Let's break it down. In 2007, the U.S. Mint was still using the original Lincoln penny design for everyday circulation. But there was something different about the pennies minted that year. The 2007 Lincoln penny features the classic obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, but it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why it has the D mint mark. This makes it distinct from pennies struck at other mints, like the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by a P. What's interesting about the 2007 Lincoln penny is its design elements and the year in which it was minted. The U.S. Mint was preparing to honor the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, which would occur in 2009. As a result, the Lincoln penny saw some small changes in the years leading up to 2009, but in 2007 it still looked like the classic coin we've all come to know and love. This penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it the familiar color and feel that we associate with modern pennies. The obverse features the famous portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse shows the Union Shield, which was introduced in 2010 as part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series. Now, let's talk about why the 2007 Lincoln penny is worth much more than just 1 cent. Typically, coins minted in the millions like the 2007 aren't expected to have huge values, right? After all, it's just a common penny. But the thing is, the value of a coin is influenced by several factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. First of all, the 2007 Lincoln penny is not as rare as some of the older pennies. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. In fact, as time passes, even coins that were once considered common can increase in value. Coins minted in high quantities, like the 2007D, can appreciate over time due to their scarcity in certain conditions. It can be worth more than just 1 cent if it's in excellent condition. Coin collectors and investors often look for pennies that are uncirculated or in mint state, meaning they have little to no wear and tear. These coins, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch far more than their face value. In fact, if you find a 2007D Lincoln penny that's in mint condition, it could be worth around 58 cents to 60 cents or more, depending on its quality. That's right. While you might only find pennies with modest value in pocket change, certain 2007D Lincoln pennies can be worth hundreds of times their face value. It all comes down to the coin's condition and how it was preserved over the years. The market for coins is constantly changing, and the 2007D Lincoln penny is no exception. In fact, the value of coins like this one has seen an increase over the past few years, driven in part by a renewed interest in numismatics and the growing number of collectors and investors getting into the coin market. When it comes to collecting or investing in coins, the key is to pay attention to the coin's condition and any potential errors that might increase its value. With the 2007D Lincoln penny, there are certain things collectors look for, such as I mentioned earlier, pennies that are in mint condition are more valuable. This means that the coin should have no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. Keep an eye out for any potential errors or varieties in your 2007D Lincoln penny. Sometimes coins are struck with mistakes like misaligned dies, double strikes, or even unusual mint marks, which can make them more valuable to collectors. While the 2007D Lincoln penny wasn't particularly rare when it was first minted, coins from certain years can become rarer as time goes on. If fewer of a particular coin are in circulation, its value may increase. That's why it's important to monitor the market and check if the 2007D is becoming harder to find. Coin grading is crucial for determining its value. Coins are graded based on their condition, with higher grades signifying higher value. The scale typically ranges from 1 poor condition to 70 perfect condition. A coin that's graded higher will often fetch a significantly higher price. As of today, the market value for a 2007D Lincoln penny in uncirculated condition is around 58 cents to 60 cents, as I mentioned earlier. That's not a huge amount, but keep in mind that this is the current market value and it can change. The value of coins is not static. It fluctuates with demand and the rarity of specific types or conditions. If you have a 2007D Lincoln penny that's in particularly pristine condition or exhibits any rare characteristics, you might be able to sell it for more than the average price. In fact, some collectors have reported paying as much as $1 or more for a high-grade 2007D penny, especially if it's part of a unique variety or shows an error. As coin collectors and investors continue to seek out pennies from the last few decades, the 2007D Lincoln penny could become a more sought-after item in the future. So, if you've got one of these pennies in your collection, it might just be worth holding onto it for a few more years to see its value rise. In conclusion, the 2007D Lincoln penny may not be the most famous coin out there, but it's certainly worth your attention. With its historical significance, unique design, and potential for future appreciation, this coin has a lot to offer collectors and investors alike. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, the 2007D Lincoln penny is a great addition to any collection. So check your change, dig through those coin jars, and keep an eye out for any 2007D Lincoln pennies that might be hiding in your stash. You might just be holding on to a little treasure that's worth more than its face value. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive into the 2007D Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to JF Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another exciting coin discovery. Until next time, happy collecting. Welcome back to JF Coins. If you're a coin enthusiast or just starting to dive into the world of collecting, today's video is a real treat. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after pennies in recent memory, the 2008 Lincoln penny. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one because this penny isn't just your average everyday coin. It's a real gem that could be worth a lot more than you think. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. Now, before we get into the real value of the 2008 Lincoln penny, let's take a quick journey through its history. As you probably already know, the Lincoln penny has been in circulation in the United States for well over 100 years, first issued in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. But by 2008, the penny had undergone several design changes, and that's where things get interesting. In 2008, the U.S. Mint released a special series of pennies that commemorated the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The series featured 4 distinct designs, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. This was a monumental year for the Lincoln penny, as it was the first time the reverse design had been changed in many decades. The 4 designs were released in a series across the year, and each one captured a different phase of Lincoln's life, from his humble beginnings in a log cabin to his later years in Washington, D.C., and ultimately, his legacy as one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history. This shift in design created an immediate buzz among collectors. The 2008 Lincoln pennies were different from anything the Mint had released before, and that piqued the interest of coin collectors all over the country. What's even more interesting is that not all of these pennies were created equal. There were several variations, including errors and rarities, that set certain coins apart, making them worth much more than face value. Alright, now we get to the fun part, the value of the 2008 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, how valuable could it really be? Well, I'm here to tell you that you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. At face value, the 2008 Lincoln penny is worth, well, 1 cent. But here's the kicker, certain 2008 pennies are worth significantly more due to their rarity and unique features. These coins have been known to fetch prices as high as $585,511.13 in certain cases. That's right, over $500,000 for just 1 penny. But how does that happen? Let's break it down. There are several factors that can drive the value of a coin up, including its condition, rarity, and any errors that occurred during minting. For the 2008 Lincoln penny, these factors can include things like many coins, the 2008 Lincoln penny was subject to occasional minting errors. Some of these errors can make the coin highly valuable. For instance, you might find pennies with doubled dies or misaligned strikes, both of which can significantly increase the value of the coin. If you find a 2008 penny with any kind of minting error, especially if it's a rare one, don't throw it away, it could be worth far more than face value. The condition of the penny is also critical when determining its value. Coins that are in pristine condition with minimal wear and tear are always more valuable to collectors. The term for this is uncirculated or gem condition. If your 2008 Lincoln penny looks like it just came from the U.S. Mint, it could be worth significantly more than a worn, circulated version. Not all 2008 pennies are created equal. Some were minted in smaller quantities, or perhaps certain years had fewer coins struck due to production issues. This scarcity can also increase the value of a specific coin. Keep an eye out for rarer varieties of the 2008 Lincoln penny, as they could be worth a lot more than a standard penny. Now, error coins are where the real potential for big money lies. If you come across a 2008 penny with a particularly rare error, such as a double strike or an off-center design, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most famous error coins from this series is the 2008 penny with a doubled die, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a distorted and doubled image. Error coins like these are extremely sought after by collectors, and they often fetch incredibly high prices. So how do you know if you have one of these rare and valuable pennies? Well, you'll need to do a little detective work. Here are a few tips to help you identify a potentially valuable 2008 Lincoln penny. Look closely at the design. If you notice any double images or misaligned strikes, you may have an error coin. A doubled die error will make the inscription "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear blurry or doubled. If the design looks off-center or distorted, that's another sign that the coin might be a rare variety. The condition of the coin is key. If your 2008 penny is well preserved and has minimal scratches or wear, it could be worth more than just its face value. Coins in mint condition, especially those graded by professional coin grading services, are typically more valuable. The 2008 penny series features 4 different reverse designs. These designs commemorate different stages of Lincoln's life, so check to see which one you have. The most common design is the one showing the Lincoln Memorial, but the new designs, celebrating his log cabin and his early life, are more sought after by collectors. If you believe you have a valuable 2008 Lincoln penny, it's always a good idea to have it graded by a professional. Coin grading services can give you a more accurate idea of its value, and if it's a rare coin in exceptional condition, you might be able to sell it for a premium. What's the current market value for these 2008 Lincoln pennies? As of now, the price range for a 2008 Lincoln penny varies, with the most common coins worth only a few cents. However, rarer and more well-preserved examples can fetch upwards of $10 to $50. But for those with significant minting errors or exceptional rarity, prices can soar into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The highest recorded sale for a 2008 Lincoln penny with a notable error reached $585,511.13. That's a staggering amount for a coin that's technically only worth 1 cent in circulation. The key to maximizing the value of your 2008 Lincoln penny is knowledge. Knowing what to look for and understanding the various factors that determine a coin's value will give you the edge in the coin market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a novice, the world of coins is full of surprises, and the 2008 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of that. So, there you have it, folks. The 2008 Lincoln penny isn't just a regular penny, it's a coin that has the potential to be worth a lot of money, especially if you know what to look for. From its rich history to its potential errors and rare varieties, this penny is one that every coin collector should pay attention to. So, take a good look at your change and see if you might have a hidden treasure in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to JF Coins for more amazing coin content, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin. I'd love to hear your experiences and thoughts. Until next time, keep collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins can have the biggest value. Welcome back to the channel, JF Coins, your ultimate destination for everything related to coins, their values, history, and market trends. If you're a coin enthusiast or collector, then you're in for a real treat today because we're diving deep into the value and history of the 2015 Lincoln penny. A coin that could very well be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to make you some serious money. That's right, the 2015 Lincoln penny is not just another penny, and it could be worth a lot more than its face value. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating history behind the Lincoln penny, discuss the significance of the 2015 mint mark, uncover its market value, and reveal how you can find one that could potentially be worth hundreds of dollars. Stick around because you won't want to miss any part of the story. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we talk about the 2015 Lincoln penny specifically, let's take a quick trip through history. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the image on the obverse, the front side, of the penny features Abraham Lincoln's profile, which has remained relatively unchanged over the years. The reverse side originally featured 2 wheat stalks, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny, but the design didn't remain the same forever. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, which remained in use until 2008 when the U.S. Mint introduced the Union Shield reverse, which we see today. Now, let's focus on the 2015 Lincoln penny. The D in 2015 refers to the minting location, the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's most significant production facilities. Each mint has its own distinct mark to signify where the coin was produced, and for 2015, the Denver Mint was responsible for minting a significant number of pennies. The 2015 Lincoln penny unique characteristics. The 2015 Lincoln penny might seem like just another penny at first glance, but there are a few key characteristics that make it unique. First, it was struck during the period when the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies with the modern Union Shield reverse design, which was first introduced in 2010. This design was intended to symbolize the unity of the states, represented by the shield, while also paying tribute to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln's leadership and the strength of the nation. So, how is the 2015 different from other Lincoln pennies? While the coin itself doesn't have any groundbreaking design changes, what makes it stand out is its place in the larger context of coin collecting and the market. This penny is part of the ongoing tradition of U.S. currency that carries deep historical and numismatic significance. Some collectors are particularly interested in coins minted in certain years, as these can hold great value due to their rarity or historical importance. Why the 2015 Lincoln penny is worth more than you think. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 2015 Lincoln penny worth so much more than just 1 cent? The answer lies in its market value. You see, While most pennies are worth 1 cent, certain years and mint marks can make them incredibly valuable. For the 2015 D penny, the value isn't because it's rare in terms of mintage. There were billions of them produced. But it's the condition, the demand among collectors, and the overall rarity of finding one in certain conditions that drives the price up. As of recent market trends, a 2015 D Lincoln penny in mint condition, or even an ungraded high-quality penny, can be worth anywhere from 50 cents to upwards of $2. However, some exceptional specimens, particularly those with rare errors or imperfections, can fetch much higher prices at auctions or among private collectors. The market current value: how much is the 2015 D Lincoln penny worth right now? According to recent evaluations and trends in the numismatic world, the current market value of the 2015 D Lincoln penny is around 58 cents to 60 cents on average, but it's not uncommon to see specific coins being sold for as much as $1 to $2. If the coin is in exceptional condition or has unique characteristics, it could fetch an even higher value. Coins that have been certified by professional grading services, like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, tend to fetch higher prices because collectors and investors trust these third-party evaluations. But what about rare errors? Well, that's where things get exciting. Some 2015 D pennies have been found with striking errors, things like double die errors, off-center strikes, or even coins that were struck on wrong planchets, for example, a penny being struck on a dime planchet. These kinds of errors are extremely sought after and can push the value of a penny far beyond the typical range. A double die error or other minting mistakes can raise the value into the hundreds of dollars. How to find a 2015 D Lincoln penny worth more than its face value, you might be asking. How can I find a 2015 D Lincoln penny that's worth more than just a penny? The answer lies in hunting through your change, checking through your coin collection, and paying attention to the condition of the coins you find. Here's a step-by-step guide on how you can find a valuable 2015 D penny. Coins that are still in great shape are more likely to hold higher value. Pay attention to the shine and clarity of the image on the obverse and reverse. As we mentioned, error coins can be worth a lot more than ordinary pennies. Look for coins that have mistakes like double dies, off-center strikes, or other noticeable issues that deviate from the usual design. Keep an eye on your everyday pocket change. If you find a 2015 D penny that looks flawless and is free of wear, it might be worth more than you think. Even if it's not a rare error coin, a mint-quality penny can fetch up to $2 or more. If you believe you have a high-quality or rare 2015 D penny, consider sending it to a professional grading service. They can evaluate the condition and give it a grade that can help determine its market value. The value of coins can fluctuate, so it's important to stay updated on the latest coin market trends. Regularly check auction sites, online numismatic communities, and reference books to get an idea of current prices. Conclusion: so, there you have it. The 2015 D Lincoln penny may not be rare in terms of mintage, but when it comes to the right condition or rare minting errors, it can be worth a whole lot more than you'd expect. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who happens to have a few pennies lying around, it's always a good idea to take a closer look at your change, because you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed learning about the 2015 D Lincoln penny and its market value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on coins, values, and all things numismatic. Drop a comment below if you found a 2015 D penny, or if you've got any questions. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep searching for those hidden gems in your coin collections. Welcome back to JF Coins. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss any of our coin-related insights, values, and market trends. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics, the 2017 D Lincoln penny. A coin you might think is just a regular penny, but in reality, this little piece of US history holds some serious value. You won't believe what these coins are worth today, and you might even have a few of them lying around, just waiting to be discovered. So let's get right into it. History of the Lincoln penny. Before we jump into the specifics of the 2017 D Lincoln penny, let's take a quick look at the history behind the iconic Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny has gone through numerous design changes over the years. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure on the obverse, which was a major milestone in American coinage. Over the decades, the penny has remained a symbol of American history, with the reverse of the coin seeing several design changes as well, including the wheat stalks, the Lincoln Memorial, and now the Union Shield. The 2017 Lincoln penny is a part of the ongoing legacy of the Lincoln cent, produced by the U.S. Mint. But what makes this specific coin so valuable, and why is it catching the eyes of collectors and investors alike? The 2017 Lincoln penny. What makes it special? At first glance, the 2017 Lincoln penny might seem like just another copper-plated zinc coin produced by the U.S. Mint. After all, it's only worth 1 cent, right? Well, not quite. While it may appear ordinary, the 2017 Lincoln penny has some important features that make it stand out from other modern pennies. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary minting facilities in the United States. The Denver Mint is known for producing coins that are often rarer than those produced in other mints, and that rarity can increase their value significantly. But the real reason the 2017 Lincoln penny is so interesting is that it has been tied to a significant surge in demand among collectors. While this penny might still be circulating in everyday transactions, some specific coins have been discovered to have imperfections, errors, or unique characteristics that make them extremely sought after in the numismatic world. Whether it's a slight doubling of the image, a misstrike, or a particularly well-preserved example, these rare variants can fetch a pretty penny. No pun intended. The current market value of the 2017 Lincoln penny. So, let's get into the exciting part. How much is a 2017 Lincoln penny really worth? As of today, the 2017 Lincoln penny is estimated to have a market value of around $0.585 to $0.5111. Wait, did I just say that the seemingly average penny is worth over half a dollar? Yes, that's right. While most people might throw these pennies into a jar or just use them as pocket change, certain 2017 Lincoln pennies have been selling for quite a premium. Now, why would anyone pay more than half a dollar for a coin that's only worth 1 cent? The answer lies in the rarity of certain specimens. You see, it's not the regular pennies that are worth this amount, but rather those with specific qualities. Some 2017 pennies have unique characteristics or flaws that make them valuable to collectors. These could include a defect in the die used to strike the coin that can create interesting cracks or marks on the surface. When the design is stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect on the coin's images and text. These are coins that were struck incorrectly, either with the wrong metal or struck off-center, leading to higher rarity. Coins in mint or near-mint condition can command much higher prices even for a coin as common as the 2017 Lincoln penny. So while the average 2017 penny may still only be worth its face value of 1 cent, a rare, well-preserved, or error-struck version of this coin could potentially fetch a value significantly higher than the general market rate. Collecting the 2017 Lincoln penny. If you're a collector, the 2017 Lincoln penny is definitely worth keeping an eye on. While many pennies from recent years are fairly common and don't typically hold much value, the 2017 is one of those exceptions. With increasing demand from both casual collectors and serious numismatists, finding a rare or pristine example could mean a great return on your investment. These coins are still circulating in the wild, which means you might find one in your spare change, at the bank, or even in a box of old pennies you've collected over the years. So, before you toss those pennies into your jar or put them in the till, make sure to check them over carefully for any potential rare specimens that could be worth a lot more than their face value. Why the 2017 Lincoln penny is worth watching now. You might be wondering why the 2017 Lincoln penny has become such a hot topic in the world of coin collecting. The answer lies in a combination of factors: the sheer number of coins in circulation, the ongoing popularity of the Lincoln penny series, and the growing demand for unique or error-struck coins. Collectors love the hunt for rare variants, and with the 2017 Lincoln penny, there are plenty of opportunities to find something special. Plus, as time goes on, more of these pennies will enter the market and the chances of finding a rare one will only decrease, making the ones that remain more valuable over time. If you're considering getting into the world of coin collecting, Focusing on modern coins like the 2017 Lincoln penny can be a great entry point. With a relatively low initial investment and the potential for high returns, it's an exciting way to start building your collection. In conclusion, the 2017 Lincoln penny may look like a regular penny, but it has hidden potential that could make it worth a lot of money depending on its condition and any rare features it might possess. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is definitely one to watch. So next time you come across a 2017 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. Who knows, it might just be worth a lot more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the 2017 Lincoln penny, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to RF Coins for more deep dives into the fascinating world of numismatics. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest surprises.